Welcome back. So this is the discussion we're getting into now. So a woman who was traveling with her children was verbally intimidated by a taxi marshal for giving a lift to a pedestrian. That video has made the rounds on social media. Now the situation took a surprising turn when TikTok content creator, also taxi operator, stepped in. Using his platform, he tracked down the individuals involved, reported the incident to the relevant association, and publicly apologized on behalf of the taxi industry for the distress the woman and her family experience. But the story quickly gained traction on TikTok, sparking discussions and shedding light on the power of social media and addressing and raising awareness about such incidents. Now, of course, the incident itself was a woman driving with her child, picking up a pedestrian to give them a lift, and then accosted by a taxi marshal who then demanded a fine. And if that fine was not paid, he said he would take her car keys. Let's take a look at the TikTok video.
Bangakubantu abagqotshwa amathili kaTshele bebangazi.
Mina bengathi.
Bangakubantu abagqotshwa amathili kaTshele bangazi. Abangazi lutho. Baningi awuzwe. Nawe bosho ungazi angisho. So ngiyacela yenza kunye. Ujikisa imoto or ngithatha isikhiya ngiyasishayeleka.
Le office nizokwendani?
Sokhuluma ngisho ngikhuluma indaba estradini mina. Ngizawuxolisela office ngijikisa imoto sakho. Jikisa imoto.
Well, taxi operator Godola Mdleje stepped in and sparked quite a discussion on social media after seeing that clip of that very concerning incident, that woman accosted by a taxi marshal. And you see him in that clip, of course, demanding her car keys or a fine. Here's how Godola stepped in.
Hello?
Putomdala.
Yes, coach.
Awukafinyeleli ngakhona lenke.
Awutroke kancane sengifikile marabona basengefike futhi ukungibona.
Okay.
Ya kancane nje futhi nawungathi manimshanyana mina sengifikile.
Okay Putomdala.
Ya ngifuna ukuthi uyibeke le ndaba njengoba umtshelile ngibatshele ukuthi kunenkinga leso ngifonela umuntu
Yeah.
Ngicabanga umntana impendulo zokuyithola ke lapho. Kubantu abafanele mhlawumbe ungakhuluma nabo.
Hayi ngiyazibongela Putomdala. Mhlambe ngabuye emva kwesikhathi esingakanani?
Ngicabanga ukuthi hawu mina futhi uzawubuza ngishwe kuphendula ngimuntu olebe osekubhele nje kube mhlawumbe ukhuluma na PRO noma nebaphathi besofike nje nabe kunganomthando ngizayithola.
Ngiyabonga Putomdala.
All right. Now, we are, of course, joined in studio this morning by taxi operator Mr. Godola Mdleje, who is, of course, the man that we see in that video stepping in, wanting to remedy the situation. Mr. Mdleje, good morning to you. Thank you for joining us on the agenda.
Yeah, what's up, ma'am? We're
also joined via Teams by Santaco National Spokesperson Rebecca Phala, who's going to be speaking to us about really the policy of Santaco when it comes to taxi marshals approaching drivers who are giving lifts to pedestrians. We're also joined by the woman that we see in that video, the victim of that incident, Ms. Dumisile Shabangu, and we'll bring the two ladies in a moment. But I want to start with our guest in studio, Mr. Mdleje. Good morning to you once again. And when you saw it, what were your first thoughts?
Hey, kusho ukuthi nje izinto ziningi lapha ku TikTok ngithe kwabantu abaningi kakhulu kule video le ekade yenzeka kasisi. Lokho akuzange kungijabulisa ngoba okokuqala nje umuntu wesifazane, okwesibili uhamba nezingane, okwesithathu ubexolisa esho ukuthi akazi la ukuthi akulayisha wabehlisa labo bantu labo. Kodwa manje ubhizi ubhuti lo uyamprovoke uthatha isikhiye semoto. So lento yangiphatha kabi kakhulu ngoba embonini yamatekisi ayisekho lento eyenza abantu besifazane bathathwa ngezinga eliphezulu kakhulu. Kungumangazile ukubona umuntu wesilisa enobudlobonga obungaka kumuntu wesifazane engabuyena akamvikelayo uma esethe ngiyaxolisa kusuke sekuphelile lapho.
Yeah, of course, Mr. Mdleje essentially saying that his concern was around seeing the marshal approaching not just a woman, but certainly a woman who was traveling with a child, saying that we should be protecting women and not treating them badly. Especially if we are drivers, are there rules that say that asikwazi ukuthi si pick up ama-pedestrian emgaqweni?
Imithetho yaserenki ikhona. eqinisweni eduze nje kwaserenkeni noma la kuhanjwa khona mhlambe la kusebenzela khona amateksi akuthathwa before uzothatha umuntu uyaye ucele kulabo abasuke bekhona eduzane ukuthi ngicela ukuthatha nanga umuntu ngiyamazi wangasekhaya then uyamthatha uyahamba kodwa ke usisi wenze ngoba ubhuti umtholile ebamba labo ethatha labo bantu then usisi wabehlisa bese singekho isidingo sokuthi amlwise ngoba ubesemehlisile lo muntu loyo so waqhubeka yena wamlwisa okuyinto embike ngoba usisi uyasho ukuthi bengingazi ngicela ungixolele akafuni kwakuzwa umbalela ngokuthi bangaka abantu begwetshwa bengazi ukhuluma nomuntu wesifazane njalo leyo nto le ngiphathe kakhulu wangibone sengibona izingane ngendlela ade ziphendula ngakhona khona lencane ngibonile ukuthi le ngane ibe ne trauma ukubona le nto yenza ngoba ibe nama question amaningi and abantu besifazane nezingane kulezi insuku kumele ukuthi bavikelwe kungabonakala into enjengaleya ekade yenzeka embonini isishintshe kakhulu imboni yamatekisi.
All right, Mr. Mdletshe, they're essentially saying that, well, there are rules when you are near a taxi rank, and that is if you are to pick up someone in the vicinity of a taxi rank, you are expected to ask permission or inform taxi marshals that that is what you intend to do. But his biggest concern, of course, that he's raising is the way that this particular marshal was speaking to Usis Danisile and how he, was, I suppose, intimidating her in front of her child, saying that his greatest concern, of course, was how the child seemed to have been traumatized as well by the incident. But let's bring in Danisile herself. Danisile Shabangu is the woman that we see in that video. So Danisile, good morning to you. Thank you for speaking to us. Take us through what actually happened and your memory of, the very beginning when you picked up the pedestrian and when things started to take a turn.
Morning.